This lecture is for class 11th. Hornbill, the first chapter, The Portrait of a Lady, written by Khushwant Singh. In this story, Khushwant Singh draws a pen picture of his grandmother. He describes how he had spent his childhood with her in the village. He also describes the change that came in their relationship when they came to the city. Ultimately, he describes the moving scene of her death. Khushwant Singh has portrayed her a tender, loving, and deeply religious old lady. The vivid description of the last day in the grandmother's life gives a dramatic touch to the whole narration. Grandma's met a very peaceful and telling her beads. One moment her fingers were telling the beads, and the next moment the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. Her best friends, the sparrows, gather in the number of hundreds to mourn her death. They keep sitting silently as long as grandma's lifeless body lay there, and once the body was taken away, the birds to fly away. In this way, the short consist of this story is The Portrait of a Lady has been taken from Khushwant Singh's book The Mark of Vishnu and Other Stories. In this extract, the author draws a pen portrait of his grandmother, who was his companion, guardian, friend, and caretaker. The author loves his grandmother from the bottom of his heart. Khushwant Singh describes his grandmother as an old woman who is very affectionate, kind-hearted, and religious. She had always been short, fat, and slightly bent. Her face was a crisscross of wrinkles. The author could hardly believe that she had once been young and pretty. She used to wear spotless white clothes and never gave up telling upon the beads of her rosary. She was always silently praying. The narrator's parents left for the city, leaving his grandmother and him in the village. His grandmother took care of the narrator's needs. She used to wake him up in the morning and get him ready for school. She recited her morning prayer audible for the narrator to learn it. After his breakfast, she would give him a wooden slate, an ink pot, and a pen. She accompanied him to school because it was attached to the temple. While the children learnt alphabet, the old lady read the scriptures. On their way back, she would feed dogs on stale chapatis. When the author's parents got settled in the city, they sent for the author and his grandmother. Now the relationship and the routine changed. The author joined an English school and started going to school by bus. His grandmother continued to wake him up and get him ready for school for some time. She did not like the kind of education the author was getting in the English school. He was taught music there. To her, music was meant for harlots and beggars and not for gentlefolk. When the author found a university, he had his own room. His grandmother accepted her isolation calmly. Now she rarely left her spinning wheel to talk to anyone. Only in the afternoon she fed sparrows, relaxed, and felt happy. When the author went abroad for higher studies, she was not upset and saw him off at the railway station. Her lips still moved in prayer. When he returned after 5 years, she came to the railway station to receive him. She celebrated his homecoming. She gathered the women of the neighborhood in the evening, and for several hours she sang and overstrained herself. The next morning she was taken ill. The doctor said it was a mild fever, but she knew that her end was near. So she did not intend to waste her time in talking. She kept praying and telling her beads. She died unexpectedly. In the evening, the people went to her room with a crude stretcher. She take her to be cremated. They found thousands of sparrows in the room. There was no chirping. They seemed to mourn her death. The author's mother threw breadcrumbs to them, but they took no notice of the bread. When the people carried grandmother's corpse away, all the sparrows flew away quietly from there. The theme of the story is in this way that this lesson describes the author's association with his grandmother and the changes that come about in their relationship. It is a loving tribute for a grandson to his grandmother, where he reminisces about the emotional bond he shared with her. She was his companion, guardian, friend, and caretaker. The author loves his grandmother from the bottom of his heart, and for the grandmother, her grandson's happiness and welfare is of utmost concern. So, their affection is mutual. Thank you, students.